Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 2, The Room of Rituals. To quickly recap last episode, we started on Desert Tile with all the things that a rich explorer would start with, minus a pet. We managed to mine some of the steel in this mountain here and turn it into the colony that you see before you. We immediately pushed for gas operation to unlock heavy SMGs for our protection, and then mined a uranium node down south to turn that into uranium mini turrets. Bunny is continuing to mine, but I'm actually going to retask her right now doing something else. Sven is now working on battery research. Trustin is making the last heavy SMG needed for Sven, and Bunny is going to be mining this area here. We also have an incoming tribal named Alicerba. Alicerba is a 21-year-old female who's a jogging, nimble, burning passion shooter who I think would be a great addition to our colony. Not as a slave, though. And I'll go into the sort of game mechanics of slavery and what makes a good slave in a future video once we have a slave that fits that description. But needless to say, arming your slaves with weapons is not wise, and any pawn that has weapon skills is not a pawn that would be a good slave. So here comes Alicerba coming to attack us. And I'm going to try to do minimum damage to her so that we might be able to convert her to our ideologian and recruit her. So Trustin is armed and ready. I'm not sending Bunny because I think a charge rifle has a greater chance of an immediate kill. And I want to recruit Alicerba. Oh, hey, Alicerba, don't hit my wind turbine. Oh, that arm might come off. We'll see. Where's Bunny going? Stargazing? Yeah, we're not doing that right now. And they've tried to steal what they can and leave. Looks like they're trying to steal me. Oddly. I think these mini turrets don't do a lot of damage. So they're going to make for probably the best case scenario of knocking Alicerba out. Now, she started with a neck scratch scar, and that wasn't my own doing. I'm now turning off the mini turrets, and we are going to follow her out. I don't think she can sustain any more gunfire, so I'm not going to have Trustin fire at her. Just follow her and prevent her from leaving. And she's trying to exit the map tile, and I can queue up a melee punch. And she's downed. Alright, and now Trustin will tend to her, stop the bleeding, so that we can start the process of recruiting. Bunny is chipping away at this mountain here, so I can turn it into a ritual room. Converting Alicerba to our ideologian will likely be our first ritual that we do. Currently, we have no development points to develop our ideologian, and converting successfully a potential recruit helps to push that along. So one thing I'm going to want to do here is to run power sort of up to this area here where I'm going to have the ritual room. And I'm going to use the natural stone tiles for this ritual room. So I might make it maybe 9 by 13, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up with, where the overhead mountain is and where it is not. And that will allow Trustin to smooth the floors for impressiveness and beauty and wealth, and construct the rest of the hopefully impressive ritual room. Now, I went into details of what a ritual room should be in my first breakout tutorial already. So we're, as you're probably well aware already, we're looking for a room with an impressiveness of about 120. That is roughly the ideal maximum for an impressiveness. Any higher and it's diminishing returns. It doesn't really benefit you anymore. So, for Alacerba, we are going to try to convert her to our ideologian, and then if she converts, or when she converts, we will recruit her. If we take a look at her social, she believes in New Neo-Vedism, and New Neo-Vedism just believes in ranching. Okay. If we take a look more closely, she really likes to eat meat. For us to be able to convert her more easily, the more upset she is, the more likely she is to convert. If you take a look at her mousing over here, take a look at her certainty in Neo or New Neo-Vedism. The higher their mood, the more they are certain of their ideology. So the more miserable we can make her, the quicker that her belief in New Neo-Vedism diminishes. So with that said, what Sven is doing is wrong, unfortunately. Sorry, Sven. We want to feed her meals that do not contain meat because her ideologian believes in eating meat and meat only. So instead of feeding her right now, I'm going to set her to nothing, which is rough. Maybe I'll actually give her one of the packaged survival meals. I think the packaged survival meals probably have meat in them, but I don't want her to starve either. And she's already very hungry. Okay, she just ate non-meat. Perfect. So it was non-meat. Oh, because the ingredients of these packaged survival meals is corn and corn only. That is ideal. And as her mood drops, her belief in New Neo-Vedism will drop, and she will be more easy to recruit. All according to plan. Other things I'd like to do is once Bunny has sort of mined out this side of the mountain for a ritual room, I want her to go hunting. I'm not satisfied with the meat I have now. I want more. And her certainty drops from 79% to 71%. And I think what I'm going to do is have Trustin start cutting limestone blocks. We're going to want a lot of limestone blocks once we are constructing a ritual room, so I'll get him head started on that once he's done with that SMG. Battery research is now done. Taking a look at what is offered here. I would actually, interestingly enough, want to immediately go for Devil Strand. The reason being, Devil Strand makes for absolutely fantastic armor, for clothing and the like, and also it is worth a lot of money, which is important when you're pursuing the Archonexus. So for those two reasons, Devil Strand's exactly what we want. Trustin's almost done with that SMG, and hopefully Alacerba's certainty. Oh, wow, Bunny. Way to go. I could also try to use the convert skill that Bunny has as our sort of herald, our prophet, but I'm going to hold off for a proper ritual. I might even, if Alacerba is getting close to converting to our ideologian, stop trying to convert her so that the ritual can kick off, because the ritual will provide us development points, whereas converting her will not. Hey, Bunny, I think there's an interloper here. No cougars. Goodbye, cougar. Predators like cougars will hang about and opportunistically attack you, and it's, in my opinion, best to just dispatch them before they become a problem, because they will inevitably become a problem. And Panthera fur is very heat insulating, so if you're looking for clothing that will keep you cool in the hot summers, look no further than Panthera fur. Currently, I don't have a lot of wind power going, so my freezer is not really working. What I'm going to want to do is to employ the use of batteries, so that when the wind isn't spinning very hard, at least we're acquiring power. And I'm just going to put them here, as ugly as that may seem. We'll end up with a better spot for them later. Oh, she just had a crisis of belief. So what I'm going to do is switch from conversion to reduce resistance, because I don't actually want her to fully convert just yet. I would like to make a spectacle out of it instead. And now we are starting to accumulate power. And what will be best if I limit what I use, so that we can start charging up our batteries. The other issue is I currently don't have any food, so I'm going to need to get the electric stove powered on sooner than later so that we can feed ourselves, because our need for food is coming quickly. What I will do here is edit lavish meals to not allow raw food or anything else that I don't think we should eat, like corpses or raw plants or anything like that. So that does mean, oh, and no hay either. And call this everything. And forget rotten as well, but without corpses, we wouldn't eat rotten. All right, come on, wind power. I will consider adding yet another turbine, because when the wind's real low... Oh, there it goes. Sven! Buddy old pal. Let's go ahead and make a small batch of simple meals. I would... Oh, no, actually, it's not Sven, it's Bunny. I wouldn't... I'm not going to have this be a sustained queue, because I don't want to continually do it. I'd like to mix it in with potatoes for fine meals. And we just got 3 ship chunks, which will be a considerable amount of components, which is great. Absolutely great. Taking a look over here, we're going to have the capacity to make quite the ritual room. I might do 13 by 9, like that. And laid out like that, which means that the surrounding area will be limestone walls. This map tile, for added challenge, doesn't have any marble, which is obviously the most pretty stone. If you take a look at the terrain here, sandstone, limestone, slate. Sort of people's least favorite stone, because marble is the prettiest and granite is the strongest. And for the sake of this challenge, I have not great stones offered. But that is purposeful. Alright, Trustin is going to go break down the ship chunks. Alicerba has barely any certainty, but I'm still waiting for that ritual. So instead, I'm breaking down her resistance to being recruited. Alright, at this point, I'm going to switch what Bunny is doing and what Trustin is doing. Trustin, I want to smooth this area, which is a considerable task. And then Bunny will take up the stone cutting. Bunny will try to build up a wealth of limestone so that it can build walls and the like. And Trustin is going to smooth this before I wall it off so that we can use the noonday sun as an aid. I can also illuminate it eventually once I need to have a light source there. So here Trustin goes with the smoothing. And this will help to level up his construction skill, which will allow him to make better constructions like beds and the like. And it will also make this area more pretty once it's done. And I'm going to add this to the home zone now. All right, Bunny. One more batch of simple meals. These potatoes are taking a while, but that's what they do. And then Alicerba here pretty soon is going to need to eat just whatever I can feed her, even if it's something that she likes, like meat. Because I don't really have alternatives. Looking around the map for wildlife, we do have 3 ostriches and an emu to hunt. And I think it's probably wise that we get those shot sooner than later. So once Bunny is done with this chunk, I'm gonna have Bunny and Sven both hunt. The reason for both, the emus and ostriches are very violent and very fast. So if you take a look at an emu, for instance, it moves at 5.5, which is very, very quick compared to the 4.6 that a default person might be able to move. Bunny is a little bit faster because she's a jogger, but she only moves at 5. Still outpaced by the emu. And then ostriches are no different. They're even faster at a 6.0. So there's really no outrunning them unless you land some sort of crippling shot. So it's definitely safer to use 2 shooters than 1. Or you could be Bunny and shoot the brain out immediately. Was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. But you can't count on lucky shots like that every time. And of course, if we miss, it runs, it flees. And you have to be cautious about trying to hunt near the edge of the map tile because animals will just leave if you continue to miss. And then you won't have the opportunity to hunt them. And was that another brain? Oh, that was a heart shot. Wow, Bunny is really, really dangerous. I love it. No complaints for me. And that will help keep us fed while the potatoes slowly grow. We have our first wandering trader. So this is from West Henia. If we take a look at the factions here, we are currently neutral with them, but it will slowly drop to -50, which is the natural goodwill because we're supremacist. They are a civil outlander union, so non-tribal, so they'll have some tech. And we can also peer into what they have. A shock lance, jump pack, tech prints, healing enhancers, some silver, some plasteel, a crafting skill trainer, telescope, bionic spine, and heart. For the sake of recreation, I think if I probably can't afford, but ideally I would have liked to add maybe the telescope. I'm gonna see what they're willing to buy. Just the gold. Yeah, I'm not really going to be able to trade with these guys, as I don't have any leverage. I don't have any money. Huh, Tony the Surgeon shows up again. She is my Gaunter. If I really wanted to trade with them, what I could do in a hurry is to mine the gold that I found and then turn that into some sort of leverage for trade. But I'm not going to do that, only because I do value the gold as well. And we have the Hunted Praetor. Now, the Hunted Praetor is a quest that pretty much everybody that has royalty will be offered. And this gives you some initial honor, which Sven says yes to. So Philonus is being hunted by a snow hare, interestingly enough, and all I need to do is to keep Philonus safe and kill the snow hare, and in 3 hours' time, I gain honor. It's definitely a freebie quest, and if you want royal rank, it's a great one to start with, because 8 honor is a huge upstart. If we take a look at the rank list here, these are all the ranks: Freeholder, Yeoman, Acolyte, and so on. And Freeholder is just anyone with even the least amount of honor. And then a total of 7 honor for Yeoman. So jumping to 8 skips a bunch of ranks, which is fantastic. And Bunny has absolutely no problem hunting bunnies. No problem at all. They're not venerated animals, so they're dead animals. And because of my difficulty, being losing is fun, the chance of them having Scoria immediately is pretty high. If you wanted to take a look at that, all you'd have to do is go into the storyteller settings here and go to custom, set the standard play style to losing is fun, and this shows you all of the sort of game sliders for difficulty that losing is fun has. And if you take a look down at the Scoria rot chance, it's 82%. 82% chance that a manhunting animal will immediately be rotten, which is pretty high. Whereas if you are on, let's say, Adventure Story, it's a 33% chance. So 2/3 of all animals that you shoot will be edible. Let's turn this back to the default. Losing is fun. And Philonus has been guarded, so she will be taken off in just a second. Oh, she's helping smooth some tiles. That's hilarious. Yes, get to work. Get to work, Philonus. And here is her shuttle. And all I have to do is right-click on it with her, and she'll hop on in and leave. We also need a new batch of food because, well, we're out again. So I'm going to have Bunny make 12 this time. So Sven blew past Freeholder and has the ceremony to give him Yeoman. And this will offer the Yeoman title and a new Psylink level, which allows him to use Psycasts. This quest is going to be offered for a while, and obviously I'm going to accept this probably after Sven eats something. I don't want him starving at his own coronation. So we'll accept it in just a moment. And this will send the Empire of the Moon Bestower to bestow rank upon Sven and a Psycast level. Now, unfortunately, the expected quality is pretty low because the room's impressiveness is awful. I'm going to see if I can't make it nicer briefly by just cleaning up a little bit. Barely made any dent of a difference, but that's okay. I'm going to run it anyway. Trustin and Bunny are in attendance, which helps make it a slightly nicer ritual, but honestly, a proper ritual room is needed, and you can see why, because this is going to be a likely disappointing bestowing ritual. Oh, wow. I got extremely lucky. There was 11% chance for this to have been a grandiose bestowing ritual, and it was, which is, again, incredibly lucky. Now, did I get lucky with the sidecast? Solar pinhole? No, I did not get lucky with the sidecast, but that's okay. Now, another really important thing to note is you can instead betray the bestower and kill them for whatever they brought with them and everybody else. But for this playthrough, I am trying to befriend or ally the Empire because we want royal rank. So with that in mind, betraying them would be a violation of our rules. And West Hinia is now leaving as well. Trustin's approximately half done. And this is a huge boon. Getting this done is going to be very helpful to trying to get positive rituals to work. Now, it doesn't rain often in the desert, but I'm still going to cover up the standing lamp so it doesn't short circuit if it does rain. And as soon as we build that, we'll be able to get Alacerba a conversion ritual and potentially our first development point. And then once that happens, I'm going to do the other rituals, the Archic Invitation, and maybe Discovery Lanterns. Now, the issue with Discovery Lanterns is it uses wood, and we don't have a lot of wood. But I think what I'll do is wait for those other rituals for when Alacerba joins us, because one of the benefits of that is having more participants will offer us higher success chance for rituals. So we're more likely to get development points if I wait for Alacerba to join. Oh, and we have goats join. Nothing like a sacrificial goat. So one of the ways, there's two things that we could do with goats. We could just slaughter them here, or I guess a few things. Release them to the wild, or corral them. And what I'm going to do is create a little pen marker here so that we can usher the goats inside, making it more convenient to butcher them. In order to do that, I need to give someone the priority for animal handling. I'm going to give it to Sven. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to give it to Bunny. Bunny's a jogger. She can run out there and rope some goats. And then all we do is once we have a pen marker, we right-click and queue them up to be roped to the pen. Animals inside your base will cause a lot of animal filth, so this isn't a permanent spot that I want the goats to be at. And I'm also trying to rope... No, it's not going to work. I was trying to rope multiple goats at once. If they're in close proximity to one another like this, sometimes you can double rope. Sort of like hauling, when you have multiple things queued that can stack. And then immediately I'm going to slaughter the goats. This will cause a lot of blood in the room, but totally fine. It's free food. Don't have to hunt for it. Speaking of food, let's get some more. I'm actually going to make this a default of at least having, let's say, 7. So that I don't have to keep queuing it up. Alacerba's fully healed, making it even easier to convert and recruit. Well, to recruit, not convert. Trustin is, let's call it about 2/3 done. Really good progress. And then the next step is to throw walls on this behemoth. So the walls will look like this. This is only iteration 1 of the ritual room. Eventually, I will spruce it up and have it look nicer than just a basic box. But I'm going for the bare necessities first. We do have some gazelle now huntable. Oh, and even more ship chunks. Woo. So we already hauled in the components from these ship chunks, and we have 4 more ship chunks. We also just researched double strand. Now, the only problem with double strand is we don't have anyone that is capable of sewing it. That's an issue for us to figure out later, but I'm glad to have it. Let's push to microelectronics, which seems to be a big jump from double strand. Strange, I know, but it will definitely speed up our research speed once we have a high-tech research bench and eventually multi-analyzer. I'm going to have Trustin deconstruct all these ship chunks and then haul the components back in. The steel won't rot and likely won't be stolen. It can't be set on fire, anything like that. But the components, that's a different matter. The components do get destroyed and deteriorate outside. That was good steel. I'm going to have Bunny start to mine again. Finish mining out the steel in this mountain, and then we'll have Trustin filled in with limestone blocks. This ritual room is coming underway, and you can see the area is already getting more beautiful. Removing mules from this stockpile. They're not needed there. And what it could do to help Bunny is temporarily install the light where she's mining to speed up her mining. And then we'll move the light back out. Trustin is just about done with the walls required. And then we'll get the whole structure to be finished. I'm also going to turn this structure into a bit of a defensive perimeter. Which is, I know, a little strange, but if we do get overrun by enemies, it's nice to have some sort of pseudo-panic room. So, as strange as it might seem to have a ritual room to be your panic room, it's really not a bad plan. So that's the last of the flooring. And now Trustin we'll get these walls underway. So the idea here is to have a wooden door that opens and closes quickly, and then a stone door that is left open all the time, that if we need to have it closed quickly, we can have it shut behind us as we run through. And that way it acts as a bit of a panic room. And then enemies would have to come in single file here, whereas we can have a lot of defenders in the room. It's not a perfect design, of course, but it's a very simple thing to do to any building to have it double as a defensive structure, which might at some point be important. Sven here is wanting a meditation spot, but because I don't really care about Solar Pinhole, it's not a very good sidecast to have. I will have his psi focus desire be 0%, so he doesn't need to meditate, and that way he doesn't spend any time building up psi focus for Solar Pinhole, which I don't foresee myself casting very often. Funny enough, I could actually cast it right now to help with the building, though. There. To illuminate the area and have Trustin work a little bit faster, but very isolated use case. Oh, and I destroyed it. Whoops. once Sven wakes back up, I can always cast it again. So Bunny is just about done with this steel node, and there is a sizable swath of it that is an infestation risk that I will fill in. Now, other things we might want to consider for this ritual room is some flooring leading up to it so that we don't track in so much filth. So that the filth is tracked in and left outside. And for that, I'm just going to have basic concrete. It doesn't need to be better than that. Bunny is now stone cutting because all of this has been mined out. And we're nearly done with this ritual area. And there it is. So this room is slightly impressive, and as we clean it up and add some furnishings, it will get better and better and better. So, taking a look here, it's somewhat impressive now. Next up, let's add an altar. I'm going to put it here and add a lectern. I'll put it here. These are pretty typical required pieces of miscellaneous furniture to have. Alicerba deciding to go berserk. Oh, wow. So a lot of those shots that I put into her to subdue her turned into scars. That's unfortunate. And we'll start filling in the overhead mountain area. I'm trying not to subdue Alicerba with even more gunfire because she got scarred so heavily. I don't think she needs more pain. But she is causing a bit of a mess and requiring Trustin to continually repair this door. But I suppose that's fine. It could be worse. Trustin will have to just pull a bit of an all-nighter to prevent her escape. Now, if she got out, she wouldn't try to escape. She would just, you know, keep punching things. Causing annoying damage, but not much more. I mean, she would try to attack us, but in that case, we would obviously defend ourselves. Alright, wear yourself out. Punching walls all day long. Tiring business. Oh, she got out. Alright, Trustin, use the gun. And she's down. Luckily, with no permanent injuries. Not that I was all that careful. Yeah, alright. Trustin is going to do the medical attention. Or actually, you know what? On second thought, I'm going to have Sven do the medical attention. Trustin will fix up the cell and then get some sleep because he's been up all night trying to deal with her nonsense. I'm sort of curious if that ends up as more scars. That would be unfortunate for her. But she brought it upon herself. Now, another way to deal with her more quickly would be to kick off the conversion ritual. But it seems like oh, she's unconscious. I can't convert her as she is unconscious. And that will be something that we do for next episode. So let's hope that Alicerba doesn't end up dead and we're able to actually recruit her. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to chat about this or any of my other content, please consider joining Discord. The link can be found in the description. Thank you for watching. I hope to catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.